I can just use standard fonts in Illustrator as well to create effects. So I've just got here my initials just in Myriad Pro. I put it in bold. I put it in 500 point. I've also got a picture of some clouds here, so I'm going to use to create a background in these letters. Now I can't just use the font as it is, I have to convert it into a set of lines I can use. So within the type I can create outlines, and that now takes those letters and creates outlines on them. Now that allows me to do some things I couldn't do before. So for instance, one of the things you can't do when it's a font, which you can do when it's an outline, is you can apply gradients. Okay, so I can apply a gradient. I can click on that end and say I'd like that end to be red, and I'd like that end to be yellow. Notice it does each letter separately. You could chop the letters apart and turn those into one single thing, which would then have the gradient running from one side to the other. And how I'd do that is I'd click on the shape builder tool, drag it across to there, and that should have created. How's actually doing it? No, it hasn't done that. So if it won't do things like that, you may need to go beyond just making an outline into creating a compound path. Now to create a compound path, the thing seems to disappear. It actually just takes the colour off the line. So if I now put the line colour back onto there, I can see the shapes themselves. I think if I now apply, that's now given, instead of each letter having the gradient on it, it's graded right across the whole set. What I can also do is, apart from just having coloured backgrounds and gradient backgrounds, I can put a background on there. Now what I need to do with the picture is I need to make sure that that is at the back. Okay, I don't think I need to set the colours out of the letters to do this. I select both pieces, I go to Object, and then what I'm after is Clipping Mask. Clipping Mask acts like a cookie cutter. It takes the lines on top and uses them as a cutter to cut a shape into the picture below. So hopefully if I click on Make, what we'll get is the letter shapes have cut into the picture, giving me a background on the letters which look like that. Now obviously at this point I lose the ability to put a line on there, so I may sort of have another set of letters, but there are always compromises made with these things. So you can use standard fonts, and remember, if you write them and the space you've drawn isn't big enough, they won't appear till you do make the space big enough for them to be there. And if I want to start doing things other than just change the colour and the line colour and the thickness of the line, okay, if I want to do something else, then I can take it on Type and create it as outlines, and that will allow me to do some things, not others. And so it may be you find you can't do it having created an outline. If that's the case, you need to go one stage further and change it into a compound path. So click on Compound Path and Make, and at that point it has broken it up from being fonts and it's turned it into a set of individual lines.